Alright, the latest installment here. The brush on latex is dry, so now we're just coming through with the scalpel and cutting out the first passes for the wood grain on the bed. So, let's basically follow along here. And trace out all of the areas that you want to remove the masks. Pretty straightforward, actually. Not as hard as I thought it would be holding this scalpel steady, so that's kind of nice. And little notches in the plastic kind of guide it. So, I'll finish cutting these out and peel off the mask, and that'll complete this phase of it. What else is nice, I'm using a scalpel here as opposed to an X-Acto because these scalpels have this really fine tip on them, in addition to being stupid sharp. But you can actually kind of wiggle it back and forth and stay on track with it. So it gives you a little bit more precise control. And they are stupid sharp. So you need almost no down pressure on this thing. This is actually the part I was worried about the most, was freehand cutting this, because my artistic abilities never graduated much past stick figure deathmatch. But this actually seems to be going quite good. So not bad for a newbie. Okay, got my tweezers here, and I wiped all the boogies off of them, so that's good. And that is actually pretty easy. This stuff is pretty nice to work with. Seems like you can just kind of hook the edge of it with your fingernail and peel it up. As soon as you get a corner up, something you can bite onto. Because I don't necessarily want to stab the tip of the tweezers into the body. I'm sure you could. You'd probably paint over it and wouldn't see it, but poor practice. This stuff's actually really nice. It doesn't tear out little tiny widget bits and pieces. Actually, you can kind of grab it sideways, too. And, of course, there'll be little tiny areas where you have to go back and true up your slicing and dicing here and make sure it looks all squared off. Didn't look all nerdy and stupid. It's also where it's nice having a real sharp set of tweezers, because you can get into these little corners. You don't have those little tags that are still connected, which causes it to pull off the rest of the plastic. It's a nice clean cut, so you get into the sharp corners. And it doesn't keep pulling it off down where you don't want it to, so kudos to the Fast Mask. This stuff is really nice. Alright, I'm sure this is probably boring you guys by now, so I'll just summarize and say that's pretty much all there is to it until you get all the parts that you want unmasked. So, alright, I'll see you in a minute.